The alien ship Harmony's Edge moved slowly through the dark space near Earth's sun. Commander Zethkar stood on the bridge, his forearms crossed behind his back. His large black eyes stared at the blue and green planet on the main screen. The planet looked beautiful, but Zethkar knew better. Earth was listed as a Class 12 death world in the Galactic Council records. Only the most dangerous planets got that rating. "Commander, we are getting signals from the planet," said Dr. Vexala. Her crystal body glowed with a soft blue light as she worked at her station. "The humans are trying to talk to us." Zethkar made a clicking sound with his mouth parts. In the 6 months they had been watching Earth, he had learned much about humans. They lived on a planet where everything tried to kill them. The weather was wild and deadly. The ground shook and split open. Fire mountains threw burning rock into the sky. The oceans had giant waves that could destroy cities. Even the tiny living things on Earth were dangerous. "What do they want?" Zethkar asked. "They are inviting us to visit their space station," Dr. Vexala said. Her voice sounded surprised. "They seem happy to meet us." Navigator Thrumpo floated near the ceiling in his gas form. His voice came from speakers around the room. "This does not match our data, Commander. Deathworld species are supposed to be mean and scared of strangers. They should want to fight us or hide from us." Zethkar had studied the other Deathworld species in the galaxy. There were only 3 that the Council knew about. The Scarth from Nightmare Prime were always angry and tried to kill anything that came near their planet. The Vorth from Hell's Garden lived underground and never talked to anyone. The Keks from Bloodrock sent attack ships at any vessel that entered their space. But the humans were different. For months, Zethkar had watched their TV shows and listened to their radio signals. The humans seemed to like each other. They worked together. They even helped animals and plants on their deadly planet. It made no sense. "Put them on the screen," Zethkar ordered. The main screen changed to show the inside of a human space station. A man with brown hair and kind eyes appeared. He wore a blue uniform with patches and badges on it. "Hello there," the human said with a big smile. "I'm Jake Peterson, commander of the New Horizon Station. Welcome to our solar system. We're very excited to meet you." Zethkar stared at the human. Jake Peterson did not look scared or angry. He looked happy. His heart rate was normal. His body language showed no signs of fear or aggression. This was very strange. "I am Commander Zethkar of the Galactic Council research ship Harmony's Edge," Zethkar said carefully. "We have come to study your species." "That's great," Jake said. "We'd love to learn about you too. Would you like to come aboard our station? We can show you around and share information about our cultures." Dr. Vexala looked at Zethkar with her crystal eyes wide. In the galaxy, first meetings between species usually involved lots of rules and careful talks. Most species were afraid of each other. They built walls and kept their distance. But this human was asking them to visit like they were old friends. "That would be acceptable," Zethkar said slowly. An hour later, Zethkar and his team were floating through the docking tube toward the human station. Dr. Vexala walked beside him, her crystal feet making soft, clicking sounds. Navigator Thrumpo had put on a special suit that let him keep his gas form while moving through the station. The first thing Zethkar noticed was the smell. The station smelled like growing things, plants and flowers. When the door opened, he saw why. The walls were covered with green plants. Flowers bloomed in containers everywhere. It was like a garden in space. "Welcome aboard," Jake Peterson said, waiting for them with 2 other humans. "This is Lisa Martinez, our chief science officer, and Rick Santos, our head engineer." Lisa was a woman with long black hair and bright, curious eyes. She looked at the aliens like she wanted to ask 1,000 questions. Rick was a big man with strong hands and a friendly face. "This is amazing," Lisa said, staring at Dr. Vexala's crystal body. "How do you grow your crystal structure? Do you need special minerals? Can you change your shape?" Rick looked at Thrumpo's gas form with wonder. "How do you keep yourself together in that suit? Do you need special pressure? What kind of gas are you made of?" Zethkar was confused again. Most species were careful around strangers. They asked about weapons and defenses first. But these humans wanted to know about science and biology. They seemed truly interested in learning, not in finding weaknesses. "Your station is very green," Dr. Vexala observed. "Most space stations are metal and plastic. We like to bring a little bit of Earth with us wherever we go," Jake explained as he led them down a corridor lined with growing plants. "Plants make oxygen, clean the air, and make us feel at home. Plus, we can grow fresh food." They passed through different sections of the station. The humans showed them workshops where people built and fixed things. They saw a medical bay where a doctor, named Rachel Green, was growing new medicines from plants. They visited a school where human children learned about space and science. In each place, the humans welcomed the aliens with smiles and questions. Nobody seemed afraid. Nobody grabbed weapons or called for security. The children especially were excited to meet aliens, asking if they could be friends and what their home planets looked like. "Your people are very trusting," Zethkar said as they sat in the station's main meeting room. Jake brought them drinks that tasted like fruit. Lisa had prepared a huge file of information about human culture, science, and history. Rick showed them pictures of Earth's cities, forests, and oceans. "Why wouldn't we be?" Jake asked. "You came here peacefully. You want to learn about us, and we want to learn about you. That's how friendships start." "But we are strangers," Dr. Vexala pointed out. "We could be dangerous." "So could we," Lisa said with a laugh. "But we're not going to hurt you, and you don't seem like you want to hurt us. So why not be friends?" Zethkar thought about this. In his long life, he had never met a species that made friends so easily. Most beings in the galaxy were careful and suspicious. They took years to trust new species. But these humans from the dangerous Deathworld were open and welcoming from the first moment. "Tell us about your world," Rick said. "What's it like where you come from?" As the aliens talked about their peaceful home planets, Zethkar began to understand something important. His people had lived safe, easy lives for thousands of years. They had never faced real danger or hardship. But humans lived every day with danger. Their planet tried to kill them constantly. Maybe that was why they were not afraid of strangers. When you faced death every day, meeting new people did not seem scary. The cultural exchange continued for hours. The humans shared their music, art, and stories. They talked about their dreams of exploring the galaxy and meeting other species. They asked thoughtful questions about alien cultures and seemed genuinely interested in the answers. As the day ended, Zethkar realized that everything the Galactic Council thought about Deathworld species was wrong, at least when it came to humans. These were not angry, violent creatures barely surviving on a nightmare planet. They were kind, curious, and brave beings who had learned to thrive in a dangerous world by working together and helping each other. But Zethkar had no idea just how much more he was about to learn about human nature. The loud alarm sounds made everyone stop talking. Red lights flashed all over the human station. Zethkar jumped up from his chair, his forearms moving quickly. Dr. Vexala's crystal body began glowing brighter with worry. Navigator Thrumpo's gas form moved faster inside his suit. "What is happening?" Zethkar asked. Jake Peterson was already at a wall screen reading the information that appeared there. His face looked serious now, but not scared. "We have a big problem. The sun just sent out a huge solar flare. It's heading right for us." Lisa Martinez ran to another computer. Her fingers moved fast over the controls. "It's not just the solar flare, Jake. There's something else. Some kind of space distortion is forming near us. It's pulling both our ships toward Earth." Rick Santos was talking into his communication device. "All teams, this is Rick. We have an emergency. Everyone to battle stations. This is not a drill." Zethkar felt his heart beating faster. Solar flares could destroy ships and kill crews. But what was this space distortion Lisa talked about? He had never heard of such a thing. "We need to get back to our ship," Dr. Vexala said. Her voice sounded worried. "Of course," Jake said. "But we need to move fast. Amy, open a channel to both ships." A woman with red hair appeared on the screen. She was on another human ship nearby. "This is Amy Thompson on the Freedom's call. Captain Rodriguez is on his way to the bridge now." Another screen showed the bridge of Zethkar's ship. The alien crew members looked scared. Some were running around, others just stood still, not knowing what to do. "The situation is very bad," came the voice of Zethkar's second-in-command. "Our shields are failing. The solar radiation is too strong. The space distortion is pulling us down toward the planet. We cannot escape." Zethkar felt cold inside his body. This was how crews died in space. Trapped between a deadly star and a dangerous planet with no way out. His people had emergency rules for this situation. Seal all doors, send help signals, wait for rescue ships, try to survive as long as possible. But rescue ships would take days to reach them. They did not have days. They had maybe 3 hours before their ship broke apart. "How long until the distortion pulls us into Earth's atmosphere?" Jake asked Lisa. 2 hours and 40 minutes at current speed, Lisa said. "Maybe less if it gets stronger." Dr. Vexala made calculations in her head. "Our ship cannot survive entry into your planet's atmosphere. The radiation and gravity will destroy us completely." Zethkar expected the humans to wish them luck and then run away to save themselves. That was what most species would do. Save your own people first. It was the smart thing to do. But Captain Danny Rodriguez appeared on the screen from the human ship Freedom's Call. He was a man with dark hair and serious eyes. "Jake, what's the status of our alien friends?" "Their ship is breaking apart," Jake said. "They won't make it through Earth's atmosphere." "Then we go get them," Danny said like it was the most normal thing in the world. Zethkar stared at the screen. "What did you say?" "We're going to rescue you," Danny explained. "Amy, start calculating rescue paths. Ben, I need you to find safe ways to get close to their ship." A young man appeared on screen next to Amy. "Captain, the radiation levels are really high. If we go in there, our ship will take damage too." "How much damage?" Danny asked. Ben Carter looked at his instruments. "Hard to say. Maybe 20% hull damage, maybe more. Our shields aren't designed for this kind of radiation storm." "But we can survive it?" "Probably," Ben said. "But there's risk." "There's always risk," Danny said. "Amy, send a message to Dr. Green. Tell her to prepare the medical bay for alien patients. She needs to study their biology data fast." Zethkar could not believe what he was hearing. The humans were going to risk their own ship and crew to save aliens they had just met. It made no sense. Why would they do such a dangerous thing? "Captain Rodriguez," Zethkar said. "You do not need to help us. Save your own people. We understand." Danny looked at him through the screen. "Commander, let me explain something. We don't leave people behind. Ever. Human, alien, doesn't matter. If you're in trouble and we can help, we help. But the risk to your crew," Dr. Vexala started to say. "My crew knew the risks when they signed up for space duty," Danny said. "This is what we do. Jake, get your people ready to help coordinate the rescue." Jake was already moving. "Rick, I need you to modify our docking systems. We might need to connect with a damaged alien ship. Lisa, work with their science officer to understand their ship's layout." Amy Thompson was talking fast into her communication device. "All stations, this is Thompson. We are beginning emergency rescue operations. Medical team, prepare for multiple casualties. Engineering team, get ready to repair battle damage." Zethkar watched the humans work. They moved with purpose and speed, but they did not panic. Each person had a job to do, and they did it without question. Nobody argued about the danger. Nobody said they should abandon the aliens. On his own ship, Zethkar could see his crew members still running around in fear. They were good people, but they had never faced real danger before. Their peaceful lives had not prepared them for this kind of emergency. "Commander," came a voice from his ship. "What are our orders?" Zethkar thought for a moment. His people's emergency procedures said to wait for rescue. But the humans were not waiting, they were acting. "Follow the humans' instructions," Zethkar ordered. "Do whatever they tell you to do." Dr. Rachel Green appeared on one of the screens. She was a human doctor with kind eyes and steady hands. "I'm reading the medical data you sent about your species. I think I can treat your people if anyone gets hurt. But I need to know more about your biology." Dr. Vexala began sharing medical information with the human doctor. Even in the middle of an emergency, the humans wanted to make sure they could help injured aliens. "Captain Rodriguez," came a new voice. It was Tony Martinez, a pilot. "I've got a shuttle ready to launch, just tell me where to go." "Tony, the radiation will fry your shuttle's systems," Ben warned. "Maybe," Tony said. "Maybe not. Only one way to find out." "He's volunteering to fly into a radiation storm to save us," Thrumpo said quietly. "These humans are either very brave or very crazy." "Both, I think," Zethkar said. The space distortion was getting stronger. Both ships were being pulled toward Earth faster now. Time was running out. "All right, people," Danny Rodriguez said over the communication system. "This is what we trained for. Nobody dies today if we can help it. Let's bring our new friends home safe." Zethkar felt something he had never felt before. Hope. These strange humans from the death world were not going to let his people die. They were going to risk everything to save strangers. But as he watched the swirling energy of the space distortion grow larger on the screens, Zethkar wondered if even human determination could overcome the deadly forces of space that wanted to destroy them all. Captain Danny Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the Freedom's Call, watching the radiation storm grow stronger on his screens. The alien ship was breaking apart piece by piece. Any normal person would fly away from such danger, but Danny ordered his ship to fly closer to it. "Ben, take us in," Danny said to his navigator. "Stay as close as you can to their ship." "Sir, the radiation is getting worse," Ben Carter warned. "Our shields are down to 60% already." "Then we better work fast," Danny replied. In the shuttle bay, Tony Martinez was running final checks on his small rescue ship. The shuttle was not built for this kind of mission. Its shields were weak, its hull was thin. Flying into a radiation storm would probably kill the ship's systems. It might kill Tony, too. "Tony, you don't have to do this," came Amy Thompson's voice over the radio. "We can find another way." "Amy, there are 43 aliens on that ship," Tony said as he started the shuttle's engines. "They're going to die if someone doesn't get them. I'm the best pilot we have." "You're also Lisa's brother," Amy said quietly. "What do I tell her if you don't come back?" Tony smiled even though Amy could not see him. "Tell her I went out doing something that mattered." On the alien ship, Zethkar watched his crew members seal themselves into safe rooms. It was the smart thing to do when a ship was dying. Close the doors. Wait for help. Try to survive as long as possible. But through his ship's windows, he could see the human ship getting closer. The Freedom's Call was flying right into the radiation storm. Its hull was already glowing from the energy hitting it. "They are crazy," Dr. Vexala said. Her crystal body was dim with worry. "They are going to get themselves killed trying to save us." "Yes," Zethkar agreed. "They are completely crazy." Small human shuttle flew out of the bigger ship. It moved through the radiation like a tiny fish swimming through fire. Tony Martinez's voice came over the radio. "Alien ship, this is Rescue Shuttle 1. I'm coming to get some of your people. Where's your main docking port?" "It's damaged," Zethkar replied. "You cannot dock there safely." "Then I'll make a new docking port," Tony said. "Stand back from Section 7. This might get bumpy." Zethkar did not understand what the human meant until he saw the shuttle speed up and crash into the side of his ship. The shuttle punched through the metal hull like it was made of paper. Emergency systems sealed the hole around the shuttle, creating a new doorway. "Did he just use his ship as a battering ram?" Thrumpo asked in shock. "I think he did," Zethkar said. Tony's voice came through the hole in the ship. "Sorry about your wall. Is everyone okay in there?" 3 alien crew members were trapped in Section 7. They had been sure they were going to die when the ship's hull broke apart around them. Now a crazy human pilot was helping them climb into his damaged shuttle. "This is completely against safety rules," one of the aliens said. "Good thing I never liked following rules," Tony replied. "Hold on tight. The ride back is going to be rough." Back on the Freedom's Call, engineer Rick Santos was doing something equally crazy. He was tearing apart his own ship's systems while they were still flying through the radiation storm. "Rick, what are you doing?" Danny asked over the ship's communication system. Making our shields stronger, Rick said as he pulled cables out of the walls. I'm taking power from life support, gravity control, and the food systems. We won't need them if we're all dead. Kevin Wong and Maria Vasquez were helping Rick rewire the ship's power systems. They worked fast, their hands moving over controls and wires while radiation alarms blared around them. This is either going to save us all or kill us all, Maria said. Only one way to find out, Kevin replied. The modified shields held long enough for Tony to make 3 more rescue trips. Each time he flew his damaged shuttle back to the alien ship and brought more crew members to safety. By the 4th trip, his shuttle was barely working. Smoke filled the cockpit. Half the controls were dead. Tony, your shuttle's falling apart, Amy warned him. Come back now. 5 more aliens to go, Tony said. I can make 1 more trip. Tony, no, came his sister Lisa's voice. Your shuttle won't survive another trip. Then I better make it count, Tony said. But the 5th rescue trip almost killed him. As Tony was loading the last group of aliens into his dying shuttle, the alien ship's reactor began to overload. Warning lights flashed red throughout both ships. The reactor's going to explode, Dr. Vexella said, reading her instruments. It will destroy both ships. Zethkar felt his heart sink. They had come so close to safety. Now they were all going to die anyway. That was when Chris Parker volunteered to do the most insane thing yet. I can fix their reactor, Chris said over the radio. He was the maintenance chief on the human station. I've worked on fusion reactors before. Chris, their reactor is alien technology, Lisa said. You don't know how it works. Reactor's a reactor, Chris said. They all work on the same basic rules. Physics is physics, whether you're human or alien. The radiation levels near their reactor will kill you in minutes, Dr. Green warned. Chris was already putting on a radiation suit. Then I better work fast. Besides, I've worked in worse places. You should see the basement of the power plant, back in Detroit. Danny Rodriguez made a command decision. Chris, you're authorized to transfer to the alien ship. Do what you can. Chris flew over to the alien ship in a small work pod. The alien crew members watched in amazement as this human engineer they had just met climbed into the most dangerous part of their ship. The reactor room was filled with deadly radiation. The fusion core was glowing white-hot and making sounds that meant it was about to explode. Okay, let's see what we got here, Chris said, looking at the alien controls. Temperature's too high, pressure's building up, magnetic containment is failing. Yeah, I can work with this. The aliens watched through protective windows as Chris began working on their reactor. He moved calmly through the deadly radiation, adjusting controls and rerouting power systems. His radiation counter was beeping faster and faster, warning that he was taking dangerous amounts of radiation into his body. Chris, your radiation levels are critical, Dr. Green said over the radio. You need to get out of there. Almost got it, Chris replied. Just need to balance the plasma flow and there we go. The reactor's angry red glow changed to a steady blue. The warning alarm stopped. The explosion that would have killed everyone was no longer going to happen. Reactor's stable, Chris reported. Though I wouldn't recommend using it for long trips. You might want to get it properly fixed when you get home. Chris walked out of the reactor room like he had just finished changing a light bulb. The alien crew members stared at him in shock. He had just saved all their lives by walking into a room that should have killed him in minutes. How are you still alive? Zethkar asked. Chris shrugged. Good radiation suit, and I'm too stubborn to die. My ex-wife always said that about me. As I geared, both ships finally moved away from the radiation storm and the space distortion. Zethkar realized that humans were not just different from other species. They were something completely new in the galaxy. They were beings who would risk everything to save others, even people they had just met. They faced impossible danger with jokes and determination. The rescue was not over yet, but Zethkar knew that somehow these crazy humans were going to get everyone home safe. The space distortion was getting worse. Even though Chris Parker had fixed the alien reactor, both ships were still being pulled toward Earth. The Freedom's call was damaged from flying through the radiation storm. The alien ship Harmony's Edge was breaking apart piece by piece. "We're not out of danger yet," Captain Danny Rodriguez said, looking at his instruments. "The distortion is getting stronger. We need to get farther away from Earth." Navigator Ben Carter was working at his controls, trying to find a safe path through space. "Captain, I don't think we can make it. Our engines are damaged. The alien ship's engines are almost dead. The distortion is pulling us down faster than we can fly up." On the alien ship, more sections were failing. 3 whole parts of the ship had already been torn away by the strange forces in space. Warning lights flashed everywhere. The ship's computer kept announcing that everyone should abandon ship. "Commander Zethkar," came a scared voice over the radio. "Sections 12 through 15 are lost. We cannot reach the crew members trapped there." Zethkar felt hopeless. According to Galactic Council emergency rules, crew members trapped in lost sections should be written off. There was no safe way to reach them. Any rescue attempt would only get more people killed. It was logical. It was reasonable. It was what any smart species would do. But the humans did not follow those rules. "How many people are trapped?" asked Alex Morgan, the human security chief. 6 of our crew," Zethkar replied sadly. "But the sections are cut off. The hallways are gone. There is no way to reach them safely." "There's always a way," said Marine Sergeant Lisa Campbell. "Alex, what do you think about using the emergency airlocks?" "Could work," Alex said. "We'd have to go outside both ships and cut through the hull. Dangerous as hell, but possible." Dr. Vex Allah's crystal body flashed with shock. "You want to go outside during a space storm? That is suicide. The radiation will kill you." "Maybe," Lisa Campbell said. "But those 6 people will definitely die if we don't try." Within minutes, Alex Morgan and Lisa Campbell were putting on heavy spacesuits. The suits had extra radiation protection, but everyone knew it would not be enough. Going outside during a radiation storm was one of the most dangerous things a person could do in space. "Alex, Lisa, you don't have to do this," Danny said over the radio. "Yes, we do," Alex replied. "Those people are counting on us." The 2 humans went outside into the deadly space around the ships. The radiation was so strong that their suit computers kept warning them to go back inside, but they ignored the warnings and flew toward the broken sections of the alien ship. Zethkar watched through his ship's cameras as the 2 humans landed on the outside of his ship. They carried cutting tools and emergency air supplies. Working together, they began cutting through the metal hull to reach the trapped aliens. "This is insane," Dr. Vexala said. "They are going to die out there." "They know that," Zethkar said quietly. "But they are doing it anyway." The cutting work was slow and dangerous. Every few minutes, space debris hit the ships. The radiation levels kept getting worse, but Alex and Lisa kept working. They talked to each other over the radio, staying calm and focused. "Almost through the first wall," Alex reported. "Lisa, hand me the plasma cutter." "Got it," Lisa said. "How are your radiation levels?" "Bad, but not dead yet," Alex said with a laugh. "You?" "Same. Let's keep going." Inside the trapped sections, the 6 alien crew members could hear the cutting sounds. They had given up hope of being rescued. Now, they listened in amazement as 2 humans risked their lives to save them. While Alex and Lisa worked outside, other humans were doing equally dangerous things inside the ships. Jenny Rodriguez, the pilot, had an idea that scared everyone. "We can't fly away from the distortion," Jenny said to her brother Danny. "But what if we don't try to fly away? What if we use the distortion itself?" "What do you mean?" Danny asked. "The distortion is like a whirlpool in space," Jenny explained. "Instead of fighting it, we could ride around the edge. Use its power to sling us away from Earth, like a slingshot." Ben Carter looked at Jenny's idea on his computer. "The math works, but it's incredibly risky. We'd have to fly even closer to the distortion. If we mess up, both ships get crushed." "What's our chance of success?" Danny asked. "Maybe 20%, Ben said. "What's our chance if we don't try?" Danny asked. 0%, Ben admitted. While Jenny and Ben worked on the slingshot plan, Dr. Rachel Green was dealing with her own impossible situation. The injured aliens and humans needed medical care, but her medical bay was not designed for so many different species. "I've never treated a crystal-based life form before," Dr. Green said, looking at an injured alien who was like Dr. Vexala. "I don't even know where to start." "His crystal matrix is cracked," Dr. Vexala explained. "If the cracks spread, he will die." Dr. Green studied the alien patient. "What if I use medical cement to stop the cracks? The same stuff we use to fix broken human bones?" "That might work," Dr. Vexala said, "but you could also poison him if you use the wrong chemical." "Then we better get it right," Dr. Green said. She worked carefully, mixing different medical compounds until she found one that would not hurt the crystal alien. It took 3 hours, but she managed to stop the cracks from spreading. In another part of the medical bay, Dr. Green was treating Thrumpo, who had been hurt when part of his containment suit broke. Thrumpo was made of gas, so treating him was like trying to fix a cloud. "I need to patch his suit without letting his gas form escape," Dr. Green said to herself. "How do you give medical care to someone made of gas?" She figured out how to create a temporary gas chamber while she fixed Thrumpo's suit. It was not in any medical book, but it worked. Outside the ships, Alex and Lisa had finally cut through to the trapped aliens. The 6 crew members were weak and scared but alive. "Okay, everyone stay calm," Alex said as he and Lisa helped the aliens into emergency spacesuits. "We're going to get you out of here." "Why are you doing this?" one of the trapped aliens asked. "You barely know us. We are not even the same species." "Doesn't matter," Lisa said. "You're people. People help people. That's just how it works." The trip back to the main ship was terrifying. Space debris flew everywhere. The radiation was so strong that it made the rescue team's suits smoke. But Alex and Lisa got all 6 aliens to safety. When they finally got back inside, Alex and Lisa collapsed from radiation sickness. Dr. Green had to treat them immediately to save their lives. "Was it worth it?" Dr. Green asked Alex as she gave him medicine for radiation poisoning. Alex looked at the 6 aliens they had saved. "Yeah, it was worth it, but the biggest test was still coming." Jenny Rodriguez was about to try her slingshot idea. Both ships would have to fly directly toward the space distortion that was trying to kill them. If the plan worked, they would be thrown to safety. If it failed, everyone would die. "All right, people," Danny announced over the radio. "We're going to do something that's never been tried before. Hold on tight." As both ships turned toward the swirling distortion, Zethkar realized that humans did not just face danger. They grabbed danger by the throat and wrestled with it until they won. Both ships flew straight toward the swirling space distortion. On the screens, it looked like a giant mouth ready to swallow them whole. The distortion pulled at the ships with invisible hands, trying to drag them down to Earth. "Jenny, are you sure about this?" Captain Danny Rodriguez asked his sister. "No," Jenny replied honestly as she controlled the ship's flight path. "But I'm sure we'll die if we don't try." Ben Carter was helping Jenny with the navigation. "We need to hit the distortion at exactly the right angle. Too steep, and we get pulled in. Too shallow, and we don't get enough speed to escape." The alien ship Harmony's Edge was following behind the Freedom's Call. Zethkar sat on his bridge, watching the humans attempt something that no species in the galaxy had ever tried before. They were using a space disaster as a tool to save themselves. "This is either brilliant or completely insane," Dr. Vexala said. "With humans, it seems to be both," Zethkar replied. As both ships entered the edge of the distortion, everything went crazy. The ship shook and twisted. Metal screamed as it bent. Warning alarms sounded everywhere. The artificial gravity failed, making everyone float around inside the ships. "Hull pressure dropping," reported Rick Santos from the engineering section. "We're losing air from 17 different holes." "Kevin, Maria, get those holes sealed," Rick ordered. "Use whatever you can find. Metal plates, plastic sheets, chewing gum if you have to." In the medical bay, Dr. Rachel Green was holding on to her patients as the ship spun through space. The artificial gravity was off, so everyone was floating. She had humans and aliens with broken bones, radiation sickness, and other injuries all floating around her medical bay. This is like trying to do surgery during an earthquake, Dr. Green said as she worked on a patient while floating upside down. Cook Joe Stevens had left his kitchen to help in the medical bay. He was not a doctor, but he could hold patients still, while Dr. Green worked on them. "Doc, the crystal guy is cracking again." Dr. Green pushed herself through the air to reach the crystal alien. "Hold him steady, Joe. I need to apply more medical cement." The slingshot maneuver was working, but barely. Both ships were flying around the edge of the distortion like stones in a sling. The forces trying to tear them apart were enormous, but the humans kept working to hold everything together. "We're picking up speed," Ben reported. "The distortion is throwing us away from Earth, just like Jenny planned." "How much longer?" Danny asked. 30 more seconds, Jenny said. "If we can, last 30 more seconds we'll break free." Those 30 seconds felt like 30 hours. More hull breaches opened up. The alien ship lost another whole section. Warning systems failed. But the human crews kept working. They sealed holes with their bare hands. They held broken equipment, together with wire and hope. Finally, both ships shot out of the distortion like bullets from a gun. They flew away from Earth at incredible speed, heading toward the safety of deep space. "We did it," Amy Thompson said from her communication station. "Both ships are clear of the distortion." Everyone who could still move cheered. Humans and aliens hugged each other. Some people cried with relief. Others just sat down and shook from the stress. But the humans were not done helping yet. "All right, people," Danny announced. "Crisis is over, but we still have work to do. We've got guests who need help getting home." Over the next several hours, Zethkar watched the humans do something that amazed him even more than their brave rescue efforts. They began to rebuild and repair both ships, working together like they had been friends for years instead of having just met. Rick Santos and his engineering team worked on the alien ship like it was their own. They patched holes, fixed broken systems, and even improved some of the alien technology. "Your power distribution system is pretty good," Rick told the alien engineers. "But if you reroute these cables, you can get 15% more efficiency." Cook Joe Stevens prepared meals for both species. He studied alien dietary needs and created food that everyone could eat safely. The crystal folks can't eat meat, but they love these mineral supplements. The gas guy needs special nutrients. Everyone likes fruit, though. Dr. Green continued treating patients from both species. She had become an expert in alien medicine in just one day. The important thing is that all life forms have the same basic needs. They need energy, they need protection from harm, and they need care when they're hurt. As the ships limped toward the human colony on Mars, Zethkar began to understand something important about humans. They did not just survive on their dangerous planet. They had learned to thrive by working together and taking care of each other. "Commander," Dr. Vexala said quietly, "I need to change my report to the Galactic Council." "What do you mean?" Zethkar asked. "Everything we thought we knew about Deathworld species was wrong," Dr. Vexala explained. "At least about humans. They are not violent and paranoid. They are not cruel and selfish. They are the opposite." Zethkar nodded. "They face danger not by hiding from it, but by protecting others from it." Navigator Thrumpo floated nearby in his repaired suit. They turned their survival instincts outward instead of inward. Instead of every person for themselves, it became every person for everyone. As both ships approached Mars, Jake Peterson found Zethkar on the observation deck. They stood together, looking at the red planet getting larger on the screens. "Commander," Jake said, "I hope this experience hasn't made you think badly of humans." Zethkar looked at Jake in surprise. "Think badly? You saved our lives. Your people risked everything for strangers." "Well, that's just what people do," Jake said with a shrug. "When someone needs help, you help them." "But why?" Zethkar asked. "We could have been dangerous. We could have been lying to you. Why trust us so quickly?" Jake thought for a moment. "I guess because we'd rather be wrong about trusting someone than be right about not trusting them. Life's better when you assume people are good until they prove otherwise." Zethkar understood now. Humans had not become strong despite living on a dangerous world. They had become strong because of it. Their planet had taught them that the only way to survive was to work together and protect each other. They had turned a world that tried to kill them into a world that taught them how to save others. "What will you tell the Galactic Council about us?" Jake asked. Zethkar smiled, an expression he had learned from watching humans. "I will tell them that we have found something new in the galaxy, a species that has learned to turn danger into hope, fear into courage, and strangers into friends. And I will recommend that the Council invite humanity to join us," Dr. Vexala added. "The galaxy needs people who face danger the way humans do." "What way is that?" Jake asked. "Together," Zethkar said. "Humans face danger together." As both ships entered Mars orbit, Zethkar knew that the galaxy was about to change. Humans would spread their strange ideas about helping others and working together. They would teach other species that courage was not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of fear to protect others. The death world had not made humans hard and cruel. It had made them brave and kind. And that, Zethkar thought, might be the most shocking discovery of all. 3 months later, the first human ambassadors arrived at the Galactic Council headquarters. They came not as conquerors or traitors, but as friends offering to help anyone who needed it. The galaxy would never be the same.